In an ancient time, when a terrible evil threatens the land, only one man can save the world.
Say what? Get out of here.
What? What's the meaning of this?
Oh, we'll just take off that broken record.
I say.
Here, hold my earrings while I take this monster down. I've got your back, darling. We just might burn down this town. Oh no, oh yeah. When you're up against a challenge and you need a helping hand, we've got an arsenal of fireballs, steel stilettos, and a cat. Oh yeah.
Hi, and welcome to Here Hold My Earrings. My name is Al, and I'm your DM today. With me are Henrietta, Yvonne, Laura, Daria, Sophie, and Ida. Henrietta?
Hi, I'm Henrietta. I'm from Norway, and I'm playing Mealy, a moon elf wizard.
Still haven't quite got that rhythm down, have you?
Nope. Haven't.
Like, what's the next word I'm supposed to say?
Yeah. Gonna take a while.
Whereas Yvonne, on the other hand,
Hi, I'm Yvonne from Canada, and I'm still playing Cracker, a half-orc barbarian. I'm committed.
you are. Did you say you should be committed?
Yeah, both.
All right. Laura.
Hi, I'm Laura. I'm from Germany, and I play Byleth, a tiefling wizard.
Excellent. Daria?
Hi, I'm Daria. I'm from Poland, and I play a tiefling sorcerer named Zenis.
Who has a fear of reproduction, children, and anything related to the continuation of genetic material.
Exactly.
Queen Sophie?
Hi, I'm Sophie. I'm from Wales, and I play Charlotte, the human wizard.
Excellent. And the tutting Ida.
Hi, I'm Ida. I'm from Sweden, and I play Lilith, the wood elf cleric.
Lilith, we had a plan.
Yes.
Wood elf cleric. All right. All right, Madam Butterfly, take it away.
Yeah, all right, here we go. So I didn't edit very well, so this can be long. So we'll start out with Lady Elise coming out of the woods and saying, that dragon is something else, eh? And goes on and says, Never Emperor's plans are finally finished, and feels like they've stopped the invasion, and then says something about the excuses for why martial law is eliminated. We still haven't totally solved what the heck is going on in Neverwinter, but we're getting little clues, and Chief Gore is flying off on the White Dragon. And Charlotte says, you could help us unfreeze our friends, and Lady Alyssa reluctantly agrees to assist us. They revive the priest, Father Brockavar, who then revives Mealy, revives Lilith, gives them both something warm and sweet and flowery to drink, and goes around and starts killing people. People that are dying. And Blemish tries to help with cleanup, and Father Brockavar shoos him away. Orcs are too stringy, Blemish says, but if you eat the humans, they'll attack us, says Mealy, and Blemish says, well, you're almost dead. Maybe I could just, can I have a hand? And that doesn't go over so well, so he just sort of wanders off. Lilith heals the queen, and Father Brockavar asks Lilith who she follows. And Lilith says, Talus, god of chaos. And he gets really upset and says, we are Helm followers. And Zenith says, hey, you want to die? Be grateful she healed you, damn it. And he goes on about how, the Helm is really important, is really important, and things wouldn't go so well if people saw them dealing with agents of chaos. And he kind of subtly threatens the queen about us hooligans and says that her claim is tenuous at best, and kind of refers to the fact that she's like, I don't know, what is that, like third cousin of a third cousin kind of thing. And just kind of says, Father B says, well, I guess chaos can be more flexible than, evil, lawfully evil. But then said something about her sister and some alliance. And then she says, oh, yeah, okay. So the queen comes over to us and makes a proposal. Explains that her sister, Lady Elaine, has been missing for a while. Ooh, wonder who that is. Went to manage a political negotiation with the Lords of Waterdeep and the source of Neverember's wealth. The Lord that was there was ousted, and so Neverember's kind of like this. I get the feeling it's like kind of this mob boss, and he's kind of found his position in Waterdeep through nefarious means, and he's agreed to marry Lady Elaine. And Lady Alyssa says she's too old to have kids, and that's why she's trying to farm off her sister to try and get some gold and troops and weapons. And you basically just have to, pretend to agree to marry this dude. And so she puts it out to us and then looks around, and there's only one human that can possibly take that role, and it's Charlotte. And so Charlotte's like, well, I don't know. And the queen says, well, you need to behave like you're raised, as a very upper crust kind of lady. And so Charlotte sees the jewels as a potential bonus and says, all right, all right, all right. And she's going to be trussed up like Lady Elaine. So she needs to agree to a betrothal. She needs to be there, play the role, let him believe you're the sister, and sell the idea. Hook him into it. Get a contract. Get everything signed. And she only wants 20,000 gold and 500 men. So meanwhile, Cracker wanders off. We go and hang out in the hut for a while and try and talk about things. And Zenith is looking for the urn in the Marilys hut. And it's full of family banners, and there's a hyphenated line to a demon face. There's chests. There's lots of silk and armor, scrolls, lots of Alagondar stuff. This huge sword covered in jewels with a large emerald on the pommel. And Zenith doesn't touch anything and doesn't take the urn. Well, doesn't find the urn. And we go and talk to Valdi and the tailor, and they come over and ask if we want to go and have a light dinner with the queen. And we say no, we're just going to go chillax. Cracker's down to like 1 hit point and needs to sleep. And so that's in my notes. I didn't need to say that. Okay. So Valdi takes Blemish hunting, and the tailor asks about the dress. And then we try to get some information after we've had a good sleep, and we go out for breakfast, I guess. And Lord Neverember wants the Zentrum out, and Lord Vider should take the top position. That's what we know going in. And Charlotte pulls out her love potion and gives us a wink, so we know that she's got some advantage there. And everyone realizes that Miali's got a disguise spell, and we're all ready. So we return to the queen, but we don't want to give off, we don't want to tip our hand. So Charlotte shops for a royal blue heavy silk dress and a tiara with an emerald brooch, and she is thrilled and looking gorgeous. And the queen tells us all about how Braithen Kazonder is our mark, and he's a worshiper of Asmodeus. He's a financial genius, like the Golden Touch, but he's ruthless, and he's cleaned the floor of competitors for seats. So that's where I kind of got that idea. He's like a mob boss. And she's like, get everything in writing, ensure that it's clean. And Charlotte says she's never met Lady Elaine. How do I sell this? And the only instructions are basically like, look really fertile. He wants an heir to his wealth and be available to take the throne of Neverwinter. I don't know how you look fertile. What is that? Pinch your cheeks? So she basically says, don't be difficult, don't scare him off, and don't be demanding. We're all like looking at each other. We've met this Lady Elaine, and those are the opposite of what she is. So, and she sends us off with these goals of 500 men, 200 or 20,000 gold and resources, and we're ready to go. So, Byleth is going to be Petal. Charlotte is Lady Elaine. And at that point, I was thinking to myself, uh-oh, someone said Petal's name. I don't recall hearing Petal's name before. Oh, no. So we cross the field to the clown tent, waiting there. And from it comes a decidedly round man. And he says, "Welcome, let me have a look at you." And Charlotte smoothly, like, just sort of sells it so perfectly. It was beautiful. Like, "You're as charming as they say, and you're so kind, and well, let's sign some papers, baby." And he's totally into it, like, immediately. And then he's trying to, like, basically tell her that, or let's consummate the marriage first, man. Come on, let's go check this out. And she's like, "No, not in front of my handmaidens." And he just keeps going. So he brings out the contract, and it's 2 boys, 1 girl, in return for all of these men's ships, gold, supplies, and stuff. And Mealy investigates the contract. And Charlotte negotiates hard. She's good. She asks for 40,000 gold and 1,000 men. And he laughs and says, "You make a great queen, start high and somewhere in the middle." And he agrees to 600 men, 30,000 in gold and supplies, and sailors, and some ships, and some archers as well, I think, thrown in there for good measure. And meanwhile, Mealy sees that it's a magical contract. And I believe that Byleth dispels magic, and it's successful. So we hope that's, like, successful. And he pricks the palm of Charlotte with a knife. He cuts it. He doesn't know that we've dispelled the magic, and leaves a bloody handprint on the contract. He does the same, and he's like, something's supposed to, happen here. And we're like, "Hey, let's go get drunk." So we go get drunk, and we distract him with drunkenness, and then we go back. And we head back to the camp, and oh yeah, he gives her a little chest of gems. So there's lots of little small, dozens of them, gems in a little chest. And so she's kept that and told her that the ships will parallel the river as we approach Neverwinter, but we're going to meet them in Leylon, and we have 3 days, so we have to be pretty quick. And we return to the camp with the treasure and the contract, and the queen sees us. And Charlotte's like, "Well, he was actually rather sweet and charming. I don't think he'd be a terrible match for Lady Elaine." And the queen's like, "Oh, I'm glad you liked it. Weird." And Mealy hands her the contract, and the queen's like, "Whoa, well done. 2 ships. That went better than I expected." So we have another feast, and then we plan the assault. And she says, "Well done, everyone." And she thanks everyone, and she examines Charlotte's palm and says, "Oh, you're no noble. That's okay, Winky Face. Our little secret." The end.
Well done, Yvonne. I love
Was it
hearing
too
you narrate.
meandery?
It was very, very cute.
Okay, good.
Very
It was a
Uh,
late.
funny session.
Yeah. Well done, everybody. That was a terrific game. Again, Sophie, you really you missed your calling.
You shine, man.
I know.
Yeah.
I was born a pauper, but I was meant to be a princess.
Mm-hmm.
Pretty much the motto of every TikToker.
Yeah.
Yes. So, what would you all like to do now?
Mm.
Well, I guess we have to go to Leylon, right?
Well, I think you
Mm.
guys were debating if you wanted to actually get involved in the assault bit, meeting
Yeah.
the troops or something else. And you haven't discussed it with anybody else either. You were thinking about it amongst yourselves, but you hadn't come to conclusion, and you obviously would need to impart that information if you were going to.
I think we need we
Well,
need a good long sit down and
mhm.
figure stuff out.
I think so too.
Well, this is the time to do it.
Can we be
You
out of
start.
earshot? Out of earshot of the queen, that's for sure, or any
Mm.
of her ears.
Is it late in the day? Or what time is it?
Sure.
Because then we can make a tiny hut and sit in there and discuss.
I'm gonna
Sure. Right in the middle of the
do
camp.
that.
We can go to the outskirts of the camp.
Yeah.
No, they're happy for you to do it in the camp. They like the idea of having you near the rest of the troops, especially since they're depleted, and they now view you as allies. So,
And we are awesome.
Yeah.
Hot.
and modest.
Yay.
You forgot
Yeah.
modest, Henrietta. So awesome, like the most awesomest. There's never been anybody who was as awesome.
For hot. Hot, hot, hot. Except for Blemish.
Hey, I'm very attractive amongst my race.
Okay, hot, 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 hot. All right, who wants to open the floor here? Because there's some stuff I'm not understanding.
Feel free. Sounds like you do.
All right, everybody. I kind of think this solves what Never Ember wanted us to do anyway. Get rid of the Zentrum, no matter how this all came about.
That's what I also don't understand. But if I remember correctly, he said to us that there were some families trying to reinstate the former family in Neverwinter, and most of them have been killed. But there's a rumor that there's still the Alaganda family, and that we can execute them if we want. So I don't know. I feel like
Optional.
they are against Neverember, and we have been with Neverember so far. So
You have a good memory, Ballard.
thank you. I don't know. I mean, it doesn't seem very morally good to me to side with the Alaganda family now, if I'm honest.
I mean, we've already procured them such a huge pile of resources for taking the city.
Yeah.
We could mutiny it to our side.
Sorry, mutiny at what?
Yeah, we could pull them over to our side. I mean,
Oh. Sorry, I didn't
just
hear
because
what
we
you said.
got it. Oh, sorry. Yeah, just because we got it for them, it doesn't mean they get to keep it.
Hmm. And then kill the Zentrum with them.
Yeah. Wonder how long we play along.
Ooh, what a good idea. That means we don't have to take a side.
Well,
Well,
And then,
in the end, it
keep in-
is Neverember or the Alaganda family.
yeah, keep in mind the premise is the two sides of the contract are offspring, but not just any offspring. They have to be heirs to the actual throne. So
well, that's Lady Alyssa's problem.
I don't know.
True.
He's seen your face, or your real face, because the illusion failed.
Well,
So he thinks technically it's kind of your problem.
that's fine. He just needs to know that I'm the daughter of a seaman.
Ew.
What do you mean, ew?
You could have phrased that differently.
I'm a
You know-
seaholder.
You know
I was
you know
also
what
confused.
you know what you were saying.
I don't know what you mean. I'm sure I have no idea.
It's just- You're like straight out of Blackadder. Just like everything's a double entendre with you. Okay.
Mm,
Yeah.
well, but we do want to not kill the queen, right? Because
Not
technically
yet.
they are at a disadvantage now. I'm not saying, but maybe I am saying.
Just we're in the middle of their camp. We could just wipe them out from inside our tiny hut and they would never be able to stop it.
Right?
Before they
Question.
knew what was happening, we would be fireballing everybody.
I have enough spell slots. Enough power. I don't know what spell slots are.
Yes.
but
Feel
but
the
the
power
ships-
of the dark side.
Well,
but the
for
ships
Violet,
in the oh, sorry, Violet.
no, for Violet, it would be the right thing to do because, I mean, we made a deal with Never Ember first. And didn't she also say something about Korra fighting for Never Ember? I don't know if I got that right, but I don't know. I don't want to be like a flag in the wind, you know?
Clarify who signed the contract for the ships and the men and all that stuff. Whose name's on that contract?
Well, I mean, Charlotte signed it.
So it's not this chick. It's Charlotte, who has control of the armies that we are going to meet in Leylon.
Well, it's Lady Elaine.
All right. So it shouldn't be too hard to convince them where their loyalties lie.
I mean, it's got to come from, the goal is to take a throne so that the person who's providing the troops and the funding can eventually have his heir become the ruler of Neverwinter. Right? That's the deal. Oh, choices.
Yeah, so hard.
How many soldiers are left here?
Do you want to go around counting heads?
Mhm.
That
It's a
might be a
general
little
idea.
suspicious.
No. We should have a general idea though. Big army.
Well, there's a
What if
lot
I
less than
roll
there were.
Yeah.
2?
Why don't you roll an intelligence check with disadvantage? No, I'll let you roll with it with advantage actually, because you're kind of a martial class and you're good at that kind of thing.
Have my thinking hat on. Okay, hold on.
It's the one time that you can actually do anything intelligent. It's anything related to violence or fighting. Okay. So, your best guess is that there are somewhere between 200 and 400 soldiers. It's a little hard to tell because, first of all, they're all wearing the same livery. You know, there's a lot of obscuring elements like tents and smoke and bodies being piled up. People are moving around, so you don't know if you double counted this guy or that guy. The sheer number of tents suggests that they would have started before the assault with potentially up to, 500, 600 men. But again, you don't know if all of those tents were fully populated because you never really saw the full camp. You sort of walked into the camp and then got into a bit of a scuffle at the other end of it. You've never seen all the troops fully mustered, right? And then, of course, they lost a bunch of men in the middle of their battle. A lot of the men may be wounded, which may mean they're completely out of commission, or they might just be minor, very lightly wounded and still serviceable. But it's clear that they're not in a particularly strong position. The other hand, they're also a bit spread out. So if you try to, it's not like they're just all in one big room and then you could just fireball them continuously and just wipe them all out. You definitely get a big chunk of them. You might even be able to get the queen, but who knows how they would behave if you attacked anybody, and how many would be left. Your best tactical guess is if you were to try to use fireball as a way to do it, you would definitely hurt them, but you wouldn't be able to wipe them out without risk of retaliation. There'd be enough of them left. They may not be enough to do anything serious after that, and who knows, they might even break morale, right?
Okay. If we
But just
killed the queen,
sheer
would they
numbers.
lose? If we killed the queen, though, they wouldn't just like automatically, hey, will you be my leader? Right? Like they'd
Well, you don't know.
probably avenge her or whatever.
You don't know. I mean, it's hard to say, right? You'd have to go around asking people.
Hey, what would you think if the
Excuse me,
queen suddenly died?
do you have a moment? I would just like to ask you a few questions for a poll. It's just completely hypothetical. But if your leader was assassinated, and we're not saying this is going to happen, but in the event that it was assassinated, how would you feel about installing somebody else as a queen? I don't know, somebody who has a tiara.
maybe can make it look like an accident.
What, a fireball in the middle of the camp just goes off by accident?
Oopsie. Don't know how that happened. Hmm.
It's- that campfire really took that kindling is really dry. Henrietta, any thoughts?
Well, I haven't met Neverember, so I'm just following what the others decide. I haven't made a deal with him.
Ooh, interesting.
Is there any possibility that Neverember and the Queen could kind of hook up and rule Neverwinter together? Join forces?
Oh my
I think
god.
they want
I don't
different.
think so.
They have different goals.
Neverember believes in mold being the priority. This chick's all about that throne's my priority and doesn't care at all about the rest of the world.
And we're also against the mold, so another point for November.
Yeah.
Well, she did say that she understood that the mold was an issue, but she said she wasn't in a position to do anything about it until she took the throne. So in order for her to be more useful, she has to solidify her base of power and resources.
Do we know how good Neverember is as a ruler?
You could always go into the town and go look around. Excuse me, sir, do you have a moment for a few questions? We'd just like to find
But
out.
Charlotte should know, shouldn't she? She lived in
Yeah.
Neverwinter.
Well, Charlotte could try to roll a history check if she would like, but it's also a question of, how much did Charlotte really care about that kind of thing when she was just a street urchin rather than because her training came at the hands of Agamemnon Scorch, and that was much more it was a bit segregated and isolated.
I'll see what I
You know-
know of him.
Sure.
Not much.
No.
Despite being a scribe, she was never particularly a student of history, maybe arcane history, but she recalls that trade was reasonably brisk. There were always ships coming in. They always had plenty of seafood catches that she could help, sell. There was lots of inventory. People generally seemed like they were prosperous on the docks where she primarily lived and worked. There are always problems. There's crime, right? There's always some concern about prices of other things, taxes. People always have complaints. Charlotte's not really a politician, and she doesn't have a good sense for the general economy of the town as a whole or the satisfaction of its population, whether or not they felt that they had enough freedom, for example, or if they felt oppressed. So for her, it's a little bit hard to say. Her life was very hard, Charlotte's life. But she also doesn't have a lot of experience in other cities or with other groups other than traveling with you lot. And compared to the Underdark, yeah, Neverwinter was great. Although it was hard, it was definitely great. It wasn't anywhere near as dangerous. Neverwinter, the city doesn't have. It allows people to bring in their slaves, but it doesn't conduct slave trade. And slave trade is outlawed in Neverwinter. But it doesn't impose its requirements on its views on others who already have slaves as property, which is one of the big differences between Neverwinter and maybe some of the other cities on the surface and some of the cities you've encountered in the Underdark, where the economies are driven by slaves.
Okay. I'll pass that on to the team.
Okay, do we
Well-
know anyone who kind of could decide this better than we can? Do you know anyone who kind of are better at politics and stuff that you can ask from the meeting that you guys had? Maybe.
Anybody have one of those stones that you can like?
Yeah, or can Denise send a message? No?
I can.
Just ask, should we side with Neverember or the Queen? We
Who
kind of
ask?
fucked up a bit. Who should we screw
Well.
over?
Yeah, but like the King Brunor, he was with Lord November. They were trading, so I don't
Yeah.
think.
That's also why I think that it would not be wise to side against November, because we have a good, like, we're allied with King Funar, and I don't know. Even though yes, we freed Megara, but that's another topic. He-
After stealing some of his great artifacts and
yeah,
then freeing the primary source of their income and pretending that it was somebody else's fault.
Hmm,
Are we the
I
good
remember
guys?
that.
Yes.
And
Sort of.
allowing yourselves to be treated as heroes for it.
Yeah.
Freak feast.
But was there
Yeah.
someone at the meeting who was more neutral, who kind of didn't care about the politics that much?
Think for a second.
Flip.
Yeah, I know, totally.
Flip, flip,
Flip.
Trying to remember who this is. Anybody else?
I'm also flipping through my notes.
Hmm.
Yeah,
Separated
there was a
them
congregation of leaders of various organizations and nations or cities.
Is there something in the lens book, maybe?
Maybe.
Yeah,
I don't know.
there you go.
I'm going to flip through. It will, that must have been in kind of the back of the book, right? That was kind of recent.
Mm.
Okay. And I'm going to flip.
Mm-hmm.
It says there's something about the Emerald Enclave. Maybe some of them would have some. There was a person from there. They're kind of druid stuffy, I think.
Do you mean Morista E.E. Malkin?
That might be her, yes.
Hmm.
It said that she was more interested in kind of defeating the mold and closing the portals and stuff like that. She didn't seem like she kind of cared too much about politics. Maybe she has some advice for us. Or maybe this elf guy.
Solus Hall.
Yeah, maybe him.
Hmm.
Did they have any kind of alliances with Neverember? Other than kind of stopping the mold?
I was only the guide, so I didn't really pay attention to all the politic talks.
Drinking. But I do have some notes about that Emerald Enclave.
Could ask them.
Yeah, I think that's the better route.
Uh-huh.
The less muddied priority.
But the question is, do we have the time to do it? I mean, ask them if the ship is coming in like 3 days. And if the queen get control of over the ship, we kind of already have chosen sides.
How long do we wait for a reply?
A reply can be instant, can't it?
Yeah,
Okay.
if they want to reply.
Well, let's do it.
What should I ask them? Hey, what do you think about Lord Neverember?
Just ask
That's-
if we should do a double
that's a-
cross or a triple cross. with someone.
Head
Kind of
or
fucked up.
coin? Head or tails? I don't know.
Are we the good
Hey,
guys?
what's up? You don't know me, but what do you think about Lord Neverember? Should we kick him or should he stay?
Oh boy. I think you guys need to refine your question. Just give me a sec.
You think? um,
Can't we say something about a bad rumor? We have heard a bad rumor about Lord
Oh.
Neverember, and wants to know if it's true or not, or something like that.
How long can the message be?
25 words.
Oh.
Okay, I'm back.
Everybody write what you think. Well, not me because I can't write, but think about a good sentence. I think
Therefore, I
maybe-
am.
Oh.
I don't think poof. Lord Neverember isn't being honest about the Zentrum or why they're here. So that might be something we put in there. Do we trust him? Do we betray him?
Well, why not something simple like who should rule Neverwinter? Lady Alyssa Alagonda or Lord Neverember?
Or Charlotte.
Or Charlotte? Sequel love.
It's for
Love.
a poll. Don't worry.
Love the Angry Birds.
That's for
just flip a coin. Let fate decide.
So is that what you're asking?
I'm just saying it to the group that
Okay.
instead of all this, we can just flip a coin and let fate decide.
Oh, we can do a pro and con list, and then.
He's tall. He has a nice goatee.
But he has blue eyes.
He smells
Aw.
nice.
Hmm. So
But he
hard.
has 2 eyes? What?
He has blue eyes.
Oh, blue eyes. Right.
Hmm. Yeah, like that. And I don't know. Then everybody says what they think in a democratic vote. But that's just my opinion.
I like to flip a coin.
Well, Miss Chaos Worshipper. Of course you like that option.
Yeah, that is the epitome of chaos, right? Just like flipping a coin, deciding
Well.
serious outcomes based purely on a random event.
Hmm.
But I don't know how much weight we should put on the Queen's word about Neverember being kind of a traitor, because the orcs said that
Yeah.
they only allied with other tribes and the dragons. They would never ally with Neverember. And the Zentrum, I don't know kind of the history there, but it seemed like he hired the Zentrum to protect Neverwinter, but they kind of turned on him.
Yeah.
Mhm.
So that's not, well, he should have been more vigilant, but kind of not his fault either.
Yeah.
I don't know.
And she knew a lot about the group that had helped Never Ember. That was pretty close to how our group looked like. So she might know who we are, but wants to make us turn on him, and therefore is putting on lies or something.
Hmm.
Oh. I agree. Well, I don't trust her. That's
Well,
my opinion.
Ooh,
my
what if we
issue
go
is
sneaking in her
Oh, sorry.
tent for information?
maybe.
Go, Denise.
Okay, I put my hand on Charlotte and I cast invisibility.
Why?
You go, girl.
Obviously, she doesn't want to be the one doing it. It was your idea.
Oh, no.
Charlotte disappears.
So what are you saying, Cracker?
I
What? Who
kind of
said that?
think we need to get rid of the queen before we get to the ships. And
Right?
yeah, I really feel like that's probably the best course of action. Does anybody have any poison? Well, if we want to assassinate her, like I'd rather do it in a way that we don't bring 400 men down on our heads.
Yeah.
I could
agree.
try and take them all myself, but you know how that goes.
We had a plan.
Oh, we can make it look like suicide.
Yeah.
'Cause we're
What?
so old.
Yeah, she's old
Well.
and depressed.
Mhm.
A lot of
He has
good
no
ideas.
children.
A lot of good ideas, Henrietta said.
I just think if the queen dies, I think that the forces that we gain by the contract will kind of dissipate.
Mm.
Or Charlotte needs to
Mhm.
go on and claim the throne for herself.
That's not too bad an
I
idea.
love that idea.
And you can all be my royal guards.
Oh, should we just rule
Mm.
Neverwinter? Just forget about Mole and
Mhm. We can just
Still
kill both
can.
of them. Mhm.
Good idea.
Problem solved.
I like this plan.
You guys can do whatever you want. Why not? You could be the populist figurehead. You could be the first regent who really understands the plight of the common woman.
Yes, yes. Okay, everyone join hands.
Oh no! Oh God, here we go again. Jeez. Ponytails flying. I'm seeing this anime motion moment where you all join hands, you start floating in the air, there's stars everywhere, and there's like lights going off, and you just start spinning around in a circle.
I love it.
But
Sounds good.
I'm thinking also if we want to get rid of the queen and just deal with the Synthrim ourselves, we can go back to this Waterdeep fellow and just tell him that everything was a lie. The whole contract, and he's gonna be pissed, and he's gonna go and maybe kill the queen himself.
Go kill us.
Mm.
Well,
Ah,
she
we
sent
just
us. Yeah.
she sent us. Yeah, we're just pawns.
I don't think he'll
Mhm.
say it that way.
We can send him a missive, a letter, telling that everything was a lie. The queen was behind it all.
And that if he takes out the queen, Lord Neverember would be eternally grateful
Grateful. Yes.
in a powerful way.
And we can forge Neverwinter's signature on it. On the letter, pretending that it's coming from him. Oh,
Mhm.
quadruple cross.
Like it. Who's good at telling lies?
I'm losing track of how many crosses there are in this.
Yeah.
I need to start putting up those little threads of yarn like the FBI uses to
Yeah.
keep track of serial killers and conspiracies. Beautiful
was-
mind, Russell Crowe this thing out.
Because I was reading in Delian's book that Neverember wanted you to convert the Zentrim to fight for the right side, and that you should bring down the leadership of the Zentrim, not the whole Zentrim itself.
Right. I like this
Amazing.
idea.
Yeah.
I've seriously gotten lost. Which idea are we talking about now? killing both of them and then taking over the whole thing?
No, I think we're like going to send a message to Mr. Kuzander, or whatever his name is, to say that it was all a plot hatched by
Oh.
Alyssa.
Mm.
And
And
also,
what do you
like,
think he's
a
going to?
letter.
And you think he's going to want to commit resources to a fight where the only outcome is that the guy who's currently in charge is going to be grateful, but he doesn't get to take over the city indirectly through his child?
Well, there's not going to be a child.
Well,
Because we
exactly.
know something that they don't. We know that the one he was supposed to marry is dead.
Well, presumably.
Well,
Yeah.
a temple fell on her head, so.
Well,
Well, no, she's in with the dead guys.
Yeah, she's going to come back, and she's like with an army of undead.
Yeah,
Oh gosh.
she's a zombie. We can call her a zombie.
DM madly scribbling notes.
It's a great idea. Okay.
She's joined forces with the undead.
But do we need all the do we need the deal with all the weapons and people, soldiers and everything? Can't we just kill Lady Alyssa, send a letter to Lord Cassandra, and then get the heck out
Yeah.
of here?
I mean, we also had a plan before the whole Elegander story, so I don't know. We might have taken a few wrong turns, but we could still save this, make it good. So I agree.
I also agree with whatever.
I like Miele's plan. I like this contact your betrothed. Spill the beans.
And just kind of leave after that, or?
Yeah. And then I guess make our way to Neverwinter.
Should we kill the queen?
We
Yes.
could send him a message and see what his response is.
Yeah, that might be a better plan.
If we want to get a quick response, Denise can message him.
Yes.
But okay. So one last thing. Maybe he has the ability to message rather quickly to Lady Alyssa as well. And this might not go so well.
So we're killing her first.
Um,
Can't we send you, Charlotte, to Lady Alyssa, let you stand there behind her, invisible, and if you hear Rua scream, you kill her?
Well, I just hope that that her guard won't kill me once they see me kill her and become uninvisible.
All right.
Yeah, you'll misty step away.
Mhm.
Yeah,
Yeah.
perfect plan.
Yeah.
Why
Or we can
can't we
send
be
fireball on
good?
you.
Well, I think we established that we aren't good anymore. To be honest.
Well,
Why
but
can't
Neverember
we be
also said
good?
that we can execute her.
Yeah, we did have
So-
permission.
Mhm.
But she's a human. She's a living, breathing human with feelings and
Got
thoughts.
license to kill, suggest kill.
Yeah. Well, here's the other one. What if we met the army and the boats and stuff before these guys get down there? And then tell him it's not gonna work either. I just want some distance from this.
Mm. Should have just kept walking. There's a cap?
Yeah.
Ah, I don't care.
The problem is that we have now given her an army.
Mm.
Yeah, why do we do that?
Yeah,
For
why
Tiara.
did we do that?
For Tara. exactly.
Mm.
And some gems that are going to be made into rings.
Mm,
Yeah.
yes, it was worth
He was
it.
nice. He was nice.
Yeah.
Mm.
But he's ruthless and he's power hungry.
Mhm.
Mhm.
Should we kill him too?
No, he's gonna be a good ally.
Is he?
Okay, what if we kill Lady Alyssa, and then I keep pretending to be Lady Elaine, and then I don't
Look
know.
more like Lady Alyssa.
That's so rude.
No,
Wow.
like dark hair.
Oh.
You wouldn't need a disguise. You kind of, you
Well,
could
but
pull it off.
some wrinkles.
You draw those
To
on.
disguise, you don't have any wrinkles.
Oh, thank you, Violet.
You're welcome. Wanted to clarify that. And if they see through the disguise, then just say your anti-aging cream is working.
Yeah. Got it from Susness.
Or we just travel back to him and talk to him in person.
Okay, the risk there is that we've dispelled the magic on that contract, and by then he's probably figured it out.
So either way, we're not in a good position with him. So
We need him on our side, though, if we take out the queen.
Maybe we can arrange a negotiation.
What can we offer him?
We can offer him 3,000 GP worth of resources, 2 warships, 200 marines, 600 soldiers, and 2 sons and a daughter.
Huh.
What?
If we offer that to Lord Neverember, I'm sure he'll be willing to agree to an alliance with Lady Alyssa.
You're suggesting we talk to Lord Neverember.
Yeah.
Interesting.
Like maybe we can send him a message saying, and so what would you say to an alliance with the Sons of Alagonda?
Sorry. Well, if he specifically said that there are some families that we can execute that are not on his side, then I think that's gonna be hard.
Yeah, you're right. He probably sees them as too much of a threat.
Hmm.
Which
I mean,
means they have the legitimacy. It's all sounding like Lord Neverember. This is a power grab. Like, as much as he's like, oh, the mold. Oh, I'm on this side. And then the Zentrum come in. It gets out of hand for him. But he's killing off his competition.
Well, that's politics for you.
Yeah, probably.
Yeah, I mean, just not to throw not to shade your discussion, but Sophie's absolutely right. All of these guys, they all basically say a similar thing. They need to make sure that they have their own base of power before they can do anything useful. Whether or not their plans are good or evil, it all starts with, if they're evil, then of course they want their base of power because that's what evil people want. But even good people still want to have control over the resources. Otherwise, they'd argue they can't effectively conduct a campaign or any other major economic or military or civil administrative change.
Can we tell if Lady Alyssa's evil? I mean, I don't really want to ally myself with someone who enlists Amaryllis to help her.
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, it's kind of like completely the opposite of what we're trying to do.
Also, I think the problem is if Lady Alyssa takes over Neverwinter, it would take too long to kind of unify Neverwinter again under her rule to help with the Black Mold.
Hmm.
It
I
would
also
take her
think
a
that
very long time to kind of get organize everything and kind of have people backing her up.
well, there are a lot of allies to Neverember, like Celebrity Moon or like
Mhm.
King Bruner. So I don't know. Maybe like I'm very sure that if like the Elegander family rules, and there will be wars, probably, or at least more conflicts.
So just kill the queen then.
Well, we'd have to kill her brother too, right?
Well, he wasn't an heir, the real heir.
I mean, won't he become one if she dies?
But were they really like? Wasn't she the only one that was the living heir, and the other one was like half siblings?
I thought so too.
Oh.
She was the only one living heir.
Oh. Okay. we
Well
can kill her
done,
then, I guess.
Ida. You get a point of inspiration for that level of detail. Excellent.
Thank you.
But he's also probably pregnant with the demon, so I mean, I don't want to let him live one way or the other.
And he's captured by the orcs, so
Yeah.
I'm not going to go get him.
Take her out.
But is she a threat if she loses the support from the Waterdeep fellow?
No. You're right. Okay, let's send a message to the Waterdeep fellow and see if we can't get some sort of deal going. I don't really want to go back there because I think that's a worse choice. But I think we should be far away from here before we message him.
Well, we can pick up and leave right now if we want to. So we can tell the Queen that we are just heading to Leylon to meet the ships and they can follow. And then we can just poof, disappear.
Good.
And if she wants to join us, we can kill her.
Well, okay.
Right. And the ships will never come. Hopefully.
Hopefully. And then we just need to kill the leadership of the Centrum and then we're back on track.
Yay.
Just a pile of corpses we're leaving behind.
Yeah.
Still think we need to kill her.
Yeah, maybe.
Let's do it.
Matter when.
Does nobody have any poison or something?
We do, in the bag of holding.
Oh.
There's a
Have a
lot of
look.
interesting stuff in the bag of holding.
Huh.
Even says it's lethal.
Mm-hmm. definitely worth the thought.
You have like slow acting poison, so nobody really like she doesn't just drop dead on the spot, or her taster drops dead on the spot.
I don't. Doesn't say. Just says lethal.
Oh, you could always try it.
Yeah.
Ha, so funny.
Poison the whole tent. But if Charlotte's invisible, she could actually wait until she's eating and pour it into her cup just before she takes a sip.
Well, the
Oh.
invisibility only lasts 1 hour. What time is it now? Is it almost lunchtime?
I think they're just sitting down to eat, no? Because it's the evening.
Mm-hmm. Oh, okay. If you guys are sure, give me the poison.
So is that the plan? Because I'm not sure that you guys actually decided on it, but I feel like Sophie's getting tired of debating.
Yeah, I'm all for this plan.
So, kill the queen first and then talk to the guy. Wait, Mr. Cassandra.
We should have an exit strategy out of this place real quick.
Mhm.
Still have that goat?
The goat.
Goat out of here, goat.
I
Hold
thought
on.
we did.
Yeah.
We do.
Would this be the time to use it?
That's the question.
It's our only teleporty kind of thing, right?
Yep.
Who gave this to us? Is it the same guy who gave me that shovel?
I don't know.
I wasn't there either. In the end, it doesn't work.
You weren't?
No, I wasn't.
Oh,
I think it was shortly after, though.
okay.
Yeah, I think that's a good plan. Poisoner, killer, goat out of here.
Get the hell
Then-
out of there.
Amazing.
Yeah, goat the hell out of here. And then message dude, tell him it's all over. He'll pull his camp. We'll go to Neverwinter.
This is going to go so bad.
I know.
No, what could go wrong?
Mhm.
But that
What
means we
could
wait
go
to goat.
wrong?
We wait to goat until Charlotte gets back.
Yeah.
But I don't know if this is the right time to use the goat.
Then we just try to get out of here? 400 men.
We still have the dust of disappearance.
Mm-hmm.
How many people's that for?
I think it's everyone in a 10-foot radius or something like that. So it's not about the number of people, if I remember correctly.
Sinise can carry one of us.
What, again?
No, not again.
I mean, so we fit in a 10 square radius.
But I think that the boots of levitation is just up and down.
Yeah,
We
but
You have
can
to get
just fly
pushed
away.
sideways.
I was thinking that we would fit in the same area, everyone. Just like squeeze in or like be in each other's
Ah.
lap and stuff like that.
Oh, clever thinking three-dimensionally there. That's good. Yeah.
I can also fly. Subtle flex. It's no big deal, really.
So ridiculous. It's no big deal, really.
So
Okay,
we
so
sure we want to kill her now instead of just saying that we are going to leave now.
Yes.
I'm not the hugest fan of killing her, but if that's what everyone wants, then I will kill her.
Oh, she's the real threat, right? ultimately.
Are we sure?
Without her, their whole camp falls apart.
Hmm.
Maybe she's just a lady who means well.
No.
No? Okay.
I don't think so. Well, if she's the only heir to the Alexander family and we're really on November's side, then we should execute her.
She aligns herself with demons and yeah. Is either stupid or lying. Yeah.
Well, according to Dalin's book that I've read a little bit in, you're friends with the Lich, so
Um,
Yeah, but that's different.
uh-huh.
Because that's
Uh-huh.
us.
Yeah.
It's to get rid of the mold. There's a higher
Yeah.
purpose. Her goal isn't to take the throne to get rid of the mold. Her goal is just to take the throne and get power. She doesn't
Mhm.
care.
And
maybe she wants to make
he's actually kind of
Neverwinter a better
lawful.
place. I don't know. We don't know her goals.
Maybe I could search her tent first. Maybe she'll have some incriminating letters or a diary.
Or just listen in
Or just
to
listen in.
her and Father
Mm.
Brockavar.
I'd feel a lot better about killing her if she was evil.
Can anyone detect evil?
No.
No.
Then
Once
go
upon a
snoop
time.
around.
Okay. I'll go off to a tent then.
You go.
Da-da-da-da, da-da-da-da.
Wait, so wait. Okay, wait. I'm not saying you can't do it. I just want to make sure I understand. So you're turning invisible to go off to her tent?
Yeah, I want to go snooping for information.
Okay.
I want to make sure that I'm killing her for the right reason.
Sure. Yeah. Okay.
You don't sound very impressed.
No. I just want to make sure I understand. So
Shall I
you're
just kill her? Okay,
No,
forget the whole
I'm
idea. I'm gonna
no,
go kill the
Hey,
bitch.
no. Nobody's telling you what to do. No, I just want to make sure I understand what the logistics are here. So you guys have set up your tiny hut in camp.
Uh-huh.
Yep, we're very, very quietly talking about this.
Mhm.
Okay. And the rest of you are staying in the tiny hut.
Mhm.
And Charlotte is going to have invisibility cast upon her by Zanice. And then she's going to exit the tiny hut and sneak into the tent of the queen.
Yes.
To go snooping around.
Yes.
Okay. You all turn around and you see Valdi kind of just looking at you like, but she's not going to stop you. It's not her position to stop you.
Do you bring the potion? The poison?
Oh, I thought you meant the love potion. That would be a twist.
I was thinking about that actually.
So he's going to have Charlotte playing both sides.
Make me your queen.
Hey, it's the 20 we're a progressive group, so if you guys want to go that way, that's fine by me. You don't really want to be queen, do you? Would you rather I was queen? Don't you love me enough to make me queen? If you really love me, you would make me queen.
I'll save those lines for later.
I think that's pretty much what every spoiled person tells their Paramore when the new iPhone comes out and they're supposed to be camping out for like 48 hours in front of the Apple store.
So yeah, guys, should I come back after I finished, or should I just go straight to her soup and kill her with the poison? What do you think?
I would go straight for the killing.
Miele?
I'll tell you, Ida is definitely vicious. Brave and vicious.
I don't really care if she's evil. Kill her. If not, I don't know.
Okay, I'm just taking the poison then. I'll go straight.
But are you going to just poison her if she's evil, or you're going to do it anyway?
If she's obviously a good and kind person, then I think she'd be a good ruler. Then I won't kill her. If she's just a poor victim of her fate. But if it's not clear, or if she's evil, then I'll just kill the bitch.
God damn.
It's for the good of the realm, probably.
One would hope. Probably.
Hopefully.
Hopefully?
Hopefully. Okay. So I'll take one of those poison pills.
I feel like we're backtracking probably to hopefully. Maybe.
praying to Kiransily.
Oh yeah, Kiransily is like kill everybody.
Yes, so I'll take a pill. I'll say, wish me luck. And then I'll go off to her tent.
Okay. Okay, so we're definitely doing this then. Okay,
Yes.
fine. So you head out. As you approach the main entrance to the tent, unsurprisingly, there are a number of posted guards. Feel free to roll a stealth check. What did you get?
15.
With advantage.
Yes, with advantage.
Oh.
Sorry, I meant to say that. Thank you very much, Daria.
15.
Twice?
The second one was 7.
Oh, right. Okay. Yeah, so, there's enough background noise in the camp. They're not really expecting anything. They're on alert because they've been attacked, but it's not like there's like an imminent threat. So they don't seem to notice as you sort of walk by. One of them kind of turns and goes, "You smell that? Huh? Smelled like perfume." Nah, I took a bath earlier. Really? Yeah, first one in months. Wow. You should take baths more often. Fuck off. And as you walk into the tent, it is exactly as you remember the last time you met there. Richly appointed, some silks, but also some tattered things. She's obviously been using the same items for some time now. The ground is, of course, a bit muddy, but most of it's covered with carpets. And there's a table in the center. Lots of scrolls. There's maps. There's chests. You had seen chests before that had lots of scrolls and other administrative items, a very cursory glance and included details of logistics, supply information, correspondence with other people who are presumably allies or agents or something of that nature. What are you looking for?
Well, do I see her bed?
Her bird?
Bed.
Oh, bed. I
Mhm.
was thinking, did she have a bird?
Do I see her
Yes.
pet bird?
Yeah, She does. Yeah, you see her bed. It's a 4-poster bed with the covering on above it.
Okay.
Help keep out light and sound and bugs.
Does she have like a bedside table?
Are you looking for a diary?
Mm-hmm.
Dear diary, our
Yeah.
plans to conquer Neverwinter are progressing nicely.
Dear
I
diary.
I
I'm
did
so
try
evil.
I'm so evil. I did try to send a letter to Asmodeus. He hasn't returned my letter. I don't know if he likes me or if he was just flirting with me. There's no diary.
Damn it. Okay. Does she have like her own writing desk?
Yes,
Okay.
it's covered in scrolls and papers and a couple of books.
Oh my god. Okay. I will scan through some of the papers to see if there's anything incriminating.
There's a lot of stuff. There's scrolls everywhere. I mean, this is like a real military operation. They've got to deal with things like troop movements, reports on the health of the animals, reports on how low they're running in terms of arrows and other consumable items, food supplies, number of injured, scouting reports, tons of stuff.
Okay. Does she have
It'll
like
t-
a personal effects chest or something?
well, you did find that chest earlier that had a sword in it.
Was it just a sword? I don't remember if Disney's told us or not.
Well, there were a number of personal looking garments, and there was the sword. As far as obvious personal effects,
Okay.
if there's not like a chest that specifically says my diary or the closest thing to it.
Is there a manifesto?
Manifesto, manuscript, there and back again.
Okay.
Stolen that title from some dead Kalishtar druid who stole it from a halfling.
Damn it. Okay. So it seems like things aren't going to be handed to me.
You're trying to go through like a whole. She's
I
not
know.
just a queen. She's the ruler. She's the leader of a small army. So
Okay. Where is the bitch?
I don't know. Do you guys know where she is? Have you been keeping tabs on her?
Supposed to be feasting.
Okay, well, obviously I'm not going to find anything here, so I'm going to go after the feast.
Okay. I mean, there is stuff to look through. It's just a question of how long you want to spend there. If you spent enough time, then yes, eventually you could read through everything. Probably.
Okay, I tell you what, I'll spend half an hour.
Okay.
Well, I only have an hour, so I'll spend half of the time searching through some stuff.
Okay. All right. So you're spending 30 minutes.
Get an idea.
There's no obvious diary by her bed, so that's an elimination right there. There are scrolls everywhere. What would you prioritize? Because you can't read through everything, even in 30 minutes.
Let me think.
Right? If I just to put this in perspective for you, not to metagame, but if you have, I don't know if you've ever been in the office of somebody who has a lot of different projects going on, whether it's military or not. If you saw the project itself, right, like outlined for a water treatment plant or disposition of troop movements, it would tell you a lot of intelligence about the tactical situation, whether it's troops or tactical about a project or something. It doesn't tell you what the use of that is for or what the ultimate goal might be, right? See what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
Short of finding like the actual assassination contract to kill somebody. And even then, you don't necessarily, I mean, she might have an assassination contract out to kill Neverember, just like he's got one for her. In the end, that doesn't necessarily tell you what their motivations would be once they gain power, if they do.
Okay.
Does that make sense?
Yes. I suppose I'll look through some correspondence.
Okay. Yes, there is an area that looks a bit unlike some of the more military or utilitarian reports that are just written or scrolls there's a section that seems to have smaller scrolls on finer parchment, and they all have broken wax seals and ribbons, fine silk ribbons around them. Some of them are even the little types of scrolls that you sometimes find on messenger birds. If you want to look there, you can go ahead and roll investigation. And since you're a scribe, I'll give you advantage.
Goody. Okay. Yeah. Oh,
Oh,
damn.
Jesus Christ.
Mm.
Who's that? Okay. There is one letter that seems very personal.
Oh, juicy. It feels like it's been forever since we last met. I do hope your campaign is progressing well, and that you shall finally be able to rest soon. I am sorry I am unable to meet you at the rendezvous, but I understand your tactical situation would not allow it. As for me, the family are well and ask after you. Of course, when all is said and done, you shall have to come back and enjoy some time recuperating in the hot springs. I think of you every day and wish you success. Best, your sister. And I suppose say hello to that brother as well for me. Love, Kay. Okay, so that was useless.
Well, you did roll a 4 and a 7.
I know.
And it is very personal. You were looking for something personal.
It's true. And now it just makes me feel bad because now I know that she means something to someone.
Exactly. Did you think it was going to be easy?
Yes.
No.
I thought there'd be like hidden demon contracts or freaking, I don't know.
Yeah,
Forbidden
maybe
cursed
if we'd rolled
items.
like a 20 or something.
Okay. Oh my god, I don't want to kill her.
I know. I humanized her for you.
And she's just a nice lady. Well, she's an okay lady, I guess.
Well, somebody thinks she's she's special to someone.
Mhm.
That's the point. But it could be, again, even monsters of history have parents, right? And some of them might have even loved them.
Is that my time? Do I have more time to snoop?
Yes, you have some more time to snoop.
Okay. I'll snoop for some more letters.
Okay. I'm going to drop that into the handout section just so you have it.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Because it also saves a lot of work for people having to copy it. Okay. I'll let you do one perception check, which won't be as likely to have as great an outcome
Okay.
for you, but it's like a different way to try to find it.
Okay. I mean, what are the odds of me getting another low roll? Yeah.
Ooh. Okay. So, one thing that you do find is the ring that is used for the wax seal for missives from her, the official wax seal imprinter.
Oh, I'll look at it.
Yeah, I think that's investigation now.
Okay.
Roll a deck save.
Oh.
Oh boy.
You feel a sharp prick as a needle pops out. Roll a Constitution saving throw.
Yeah.
Okay. Who wants to roll some numbers? Yvonne.
Ah, oh boy. All right, here we go. What do you want?
Let's do 4d6.
Okay.
19
Oh,
points of poison
jeez.
damage, and you feel frozen temporarily. Well,
Oh my
you don't know
God.
how long it lasts.
No.
All you feel is this cold and burning sensation coursing inside of you from extending from your hand where you were pricked by this needle, and it shoots up your arm. You watch as your arm turns First, the whole arm itself starts to turn a slight purplish, and then you see dark streaks of purple and black shooting up your arm. Maybe it's following the veins, maybe it's not. And then it goes through the rest of your arm, and you feel when it gets to your neck and your head, it's like the worst brain freeze you've ever had, like the coldest milkshake in your life, but it hurts awfully. You feel like your head's about to burst. Your eyes are, you know, um, very, very. There's a lot of pressure between in your orbs of your eyes. There's a pounding in your head. Your heart is racing, and despite all your best efforts, you can't move.
Oh no. At all?
No, you're frozen there, standing with the ring in your hand. Actually, the ring falls out of your hand now.
No. My ring.
Your ring.
We'll find its keepers, you know what they say.
Yes, right. That is what they say. Laura, would you like to roll a d20 for us?
More
Yeah,
numbers?
of course. 14.
One of the guards goes, "Did you hear something?" No, I don't think so. I'd better go take a quick look.
Oh no.
Hey, there's somebody in here. It's that wizard. What's she
Is
doing
she
in here?
invisible still?
Hey, there's nobody in here.
Thank God.
That's what I said.
Yeah. Hey, it's empty.
Hey, why is there nobody in here? Why is the ring on the ground? There's nobody in there. I must have been imagining things. When do you think we're going to get to go see our families again? I don't know. I haven't even seen my last child. He was born after I left. Yeah. Well, are you sure it's yours? Ah, fuck off. But seriously, I mean, when are we going to get out of this place? Now that we've got these so-called allies, it should be over soon, don't you think? Who knows? I mean, we've got to get the Zentrum, we've got to get Neverember, impose martial law. She's got to go wipe out all the people who tried to kill her before. All I know is once we get back in the city, I'm going to fill up my sack full of loot, and then if I can't retire because she won't let me, I'll just slink off and make my way back home. Oh, you wouldn't do that now, would you? You wouldn't leave me. Mate, you're my friend, but it's been 4 years and I need to see my family. Yeah, but we're all in the same boat. Don't talk to me about boats. It's a long boat ride home. Well, look, if you leave, I'll leave with you. Really? Yeah, sure. Told you I don't have any family left. Oh, you should definitely come. If we can make off with enough money, we can definitely set up that pub that we talked about. Sure. I mean, it can't be that hard running a pub, right? Well, I don't know, but at least we'll be able to have some good times. Absolutely. All right, then. Better get back to being in front. Don't want to be seen to be missing from our posts. Oh, yeah, no more floggings. And they both walk back out.
Okay.
After
Can I
a
try to move?
few minutes, you start to feel some sensation back in your hand and your arm,
Oh,
and you can start to move again,
okay.
gingerly.
Okay. I'm just gonna leave.
Okay.
And I'm gonna go to the feast.
Yeah, the feast is underway. Most of the soldiers are having something to eat. There isn't it's modest, right? As far as feasts go. The Jameson farm lunch, so-called lunch, was actually very extravagant compared to this. But at the same time, they feel upbeat. The mood's good. There is a bit of wine and some spirits going around. Nobody's really playing any music or anything. It's not that kind of feast. But the queen is there at the high table with most of her commanders. And then most of the rest of the troops are sitting at these makeshift trestles that have been set up in front of her. There are, of course, still pickets, and you can see some of them from where you are in the middle of the camp.
Mhm. Okay, what she got?
The typical, there's a goblet for water and then another goblet for wine on the right. She's got a plate in front of her. There are several plates and dishes in front of her. There are some game dishes that are fresh. There's something that looks a bit like a rabbit, possibly, or a hare. There's obviously some sort of fowl that's been roasted and stuffed. There are bowls of some potatoes and carrots, primarily hard vegetables that survive storage for a longer time, and some bread.
Okay. I'll take a closer look at her wine goblet.
hmm In order to do that, you'd have to be very close
Oh,
because the goblet is in front of her. So you'd have to be like, depending on when you say close, like how close do you mean? Because in order to
oh,
like reach in front you'd have to be literally behind her, like a servant would be pouring wine into her goblet, for example.
um, hmm.
Or you could come from the front. So the head table is kind of set up so that everyone is sitting on one side and they're all looking out over the troops, kind of like a headmaster's table, I suppose.
Okay.
So you can come around from the front, but either way, you're going to be very close. You'll be either behind her or you'll be directly in front of her.
Um,
And there are some pages bustling about very quickly, pouring wine, serving food, bringing things, utensils.
Goodness. Um, so the
There's at
front is
least,
more clearer, is it?
yeah, so the front doesn't have anything in front of it other than people constantly milling about. There's space for people to walk, but it's not like extremely spacious. If you had a servant walking in one direction and a servant walking in another direction, they wouldn't touch each other, but it would be close.
Okay, I'll come from the front then.
Okay. You want to roll sort of a luck roll?
A luck roll. Okay.
Yeah, call it a D20. You can choose. Is high good or bad?
I don't know.
I'm asking you,
Um,
before you roll, whatever you want.
okay. Good. Eeny, meeny, miny, mo. High is bad.
High is bad. Okay.
Ugh. Ugh.
Okay, you're standing there and there's a lot of noise, so nobody even really realizes that you're there because you're still invisible.
Oh, okay.
But unfortunately, one of the commanders sitting next to her calls for wine, and the page starts running over directly at you. At the same time, somebody else is shuffling from the opposite direction with a big plate of what looks like a goose or maybe even a swan. You ever play that video game Frogger?
No.
Yeah.
You're the frog. You gotta dodge the traffic.
Oh,
The frog
okay.
has to get from one side of the highway to the other side of the highway through moving traffic without being squashed, and the cars are moving in different directions at different speeds,
Like Crossy Road.
like crossy roads.
Okay. So is that a deck save?
Okay. Yeah, sure. Good idea.
Okay.
Mm.
Dodge. No.
Oh.
Why?
Oh,
Oh boy.
These
Mm.
dice hate me.
All right.
Yeah.
Low is going to be the page with the wine and the pitcher and or the carafe rather, and the and high will be the the squire that's carrying a tray full of roasted fowl,
Okay.
and the platter with the goose goes flying all of a sudden, and everybody on the main table immediately looks, as well as most of the troops directly next to the page, or the squire rather, on the lower tables. I feel like the squire is going to end up on the ground. You can roll a strength athletics check to see if you keep your footing or you fall. Yep, you're in the ground.
Oh
And
no.
I'd say that dex save was so low that not only did you not dodge him, but you actually ended up with some gravy on you.
My dress.
And you're also now that everybody's looking down and there's some floating gravy. What was that? We have an intruder. And suddenly half the room half the encampment stands up and starts drawing swords.
Surprise.
Why is he putting the turn order up?
Oh no.
Anybody else want to be in the turn order? I'm not sure that you actually prepared for what goes wrong. So does anybody else even know that you're in trouble?
I don't think so.
You guys
Maybe
are all
they
like, you guys are all back in the tiny hut going, so should we take a nap? Long rest? Still debating, should we kill the Neverember 2 or the Zentrum?
Maybe they were concerned they were watching the whole time.
Maybe. Were you? Were you guys watching the whole time?
Well, I mean, I'm kind of hungry. I know there's food out there,
Mm-hmm.
but I didn't really make a plan.
No, you didn't.
Well,
So I can't really say that I'm just like, oh, and so I go out and
mm,
hang out with everybody.
Yeah.
I mean, if she'd still be there after an hour, I would look, but I don't think that has passed yet.
No, otherwise she wouldn't be out there in the first place.
Yeah.
Yep.
Okay, so Sophie, all you have to do is survive the next 15 minutes.
Okay.
Let's go.
Easy enough.
Well, the troops draw their swords and they stand up. Everybody is trying to do perception checks, which is to say they're all looking around trying to figure out what's going on. It's very obvious that something unusual has happened. Immediately, several of her table members and a couple of other folks who had been standing around behind her as part of her personal guard surround her, and she stands up and steps away from the table, and they envelop her basically as a human shield, facing out, not sure which direction the threat is coming from. Several of the other soldiers circle in on the page, the squire rather. The other page is has run off. And although they don't know where you are exactly, they can tell that there's something there. Reveal yourself. We'll call it your turn, Soph.
Oh. Okay. I'll reveal myself.
What's the meaning of this?
Hi. I thought I'd surprise you.
Oh no.
Don't interrupt me.
I'm beginning to understand the evil logic behind Daria's having Zanice cast invisibility on you rather than herself. Very clever, Daria. Well played.
I'll say hi. I thought I'd surprise you. that's gone wrong.
Really? You're gonna say that? Okay. All
Yeah.
right. Okay. I guess that's technically true. So I don't know if I need to. Well, I feel like it's obviously deception, but it's technically true. So I'm not sure what there is to deceive, but obviously the intent is there. So let's have a deception roll on your part, and Daria, you can roll the investigation, the insight counter.
Oh,
Why
These
would
rolls are
you?
rigged.
I mean, why?
Why would you need to be invisible?
Well, I was going to jump out and start singing.
Yes. Really? And everybody's kind of still got their weapons drawn. And she looks at her generals and officers, and one of them shouts, "Oh, go on then."
For she's a jolly good fellow, for she's a jolly good fellow, for she's a jolly good fellow, which nobody can deny. Congratulations, Lady Alyssa.
With the voice cracking, that was really perfect. Okay, performance. Roll a performance check.
Well, obviously, that was a natural 20.
No, that was. Yeah, I'll lower the DC. Don't worry. And at first, it's just like crickets. And then somewhere in the back, one of the rank and file shout out, "3 cheers for the Queen! Hurrah! Hurrah! Hurrah!"
Hooray!
And a whole bunch of them start hurrahing. And the bodyguards slowly melt away a bit, and the Queen steps forward, and she almost looks like she's kind of blushing. She goes, all right, settle down. Well, that was very nice, but you need to be careful about that kind of thing. It could be misconstrued. Come, have a seat at the table. And I know we're a little bit overdue for a break, so let's all take a break, because I think poor Sophie, between all the stress and her tiny bladder, she probably needs to wee really bad.
I am actually desperate.
All right, everybody, well done. 10 minutes.
Okay.
Hi, we hope you're enjoying this episode, and if so, please like and subscribe. And remember, the next time your DM says, roll initiative, yell back,
Here.
Hold my earrings.
Here, hold my earrings.
This is good. I think we only need this take.
So whilst Charlotte was getting up to all kinds of shenanigans, what was everybody else doing? Let's start with Henrietta.
I think I was reading in Dalin's journal
That makes a lot of sense, actually. Yeah.
and kind of
Um,
just looking up.
Mm-hmm. Okay.
But I also think that when I heard that they were shouting "hurrah, hurrah," I would kind of thinking about sending a message and pointing at the tent if we are about, not too far away. But I need to get out of the bubble first to do that.
Okay. And how about Yvonne? What would Cracker have been doing whilst all this was underway?
Some healthy stretching. And I'm gonna bug Valdi. I'm just gonna ask Valdi what she knows of this family, if she knows anything about these guys.
Oh, yeah, sure. Valdi will ask you, well, what do you mean?
Well, I mean, I've only heard of their names, and I didn't think they were so great. but I don't really know. Like, what do you think of the whatever? What are they called again? Alejandro. This, Lady Elise and all this, Lady Elaine and all these people. Have you heard of them before?
The last rebellion was a few years ago. It was violently put down. They didn't actually have a queen or a king or anybody who was a supposed dethroned heir, but it was pretty violent and it rocked the city of Neverwinter for a while. But we just assumed it was an excuse to try to take control of the city. It's not really my area. I'm more of a sailor, and I'm not really native to Neverwinter. I came here after the last merchant vessel I was on decided that they couldn't make enough money with the ship that they had, which was a bit run down and worn and needed so many repairs that the owner decided wouldn't make sense from a business perspective to keep going. So we all disembarked, and most of the crew signed on with other ships in Neverwinter or traveled down to Waterdeep, or a couple even went up to Luskan to go try their hand at some more shady dealings. I don't want to be too specific, but I think you get my drift. Personally, I was getting a little tired, and I'd been the quartermaster, so there are very few ships that actually need a quartermaster. Usually they just promote internally, and I realized that I'd like to settle down. So I took on this role to be the harbor master here because they were looking for folks who were adventurous in spirit, was what the flyer said. And so far, I've been treated, I think, fairly. Uh, I don't know Lord Neverember, never met the man. He, by all accounts, seems to keep his word. He tries to support people. Leylon was, I mean, you've seen it. It's not in good condition, but it was a complete ruin when we first got there, and he's funded the whole reconstruction effort. Now, there's always going to be somebody who says something bad about somebody in power because either they want what that person has, or they feel like they should get more of something that they don't have, or they're just ornery. And I don't know anything about that. I can say that he's definitely put out money of his own, and he's hired guards and tried to protect us and given us what we need to try to build this village. At the same time, it's for himself, arguably. It's part of Neverwinter, and he's in charge of Neverwinter. When he took over, from what I understand, and I wasn't there at the time, he did not claim to be the king. And there were some rumors that part of that might have been a political determination on his part to not be seen to be taking the throne, possibly because of this Alagondar situation. Like I said, it's not really my realm of expertise. And there are some rumors that another reason why he's done it is because he was kicked out of Waterdeep, driven out, or something. And it could be anything from he just wants to find something to do, or he wants some base from which he can exact revenge, or he just wants to, um, you know, resurrect his reputation. It's hard to say. You'd have to get to know the man and maybe spend some time with him to determine what his real motivations are. Usually, the people I deal with are pretty straightforward. They just want to get paid, and once they're paid, they either send the money home or they go out to shore and spend it on booze and women or men, and or they try to save it up occasionally and hopefully retire. But not that many sailors really retire successfully. More than pirates, but not as many as you'd like to think. Don't know if that was helpful.
That was very helpful, actually.
All right.
Thanks.
Sure, sugar. Ida, what was Lilith doing?
Lilith was trying to investigate her magic chainmail. She only knows
Ooh.
it was magic, but she doesn't really know anything more about it.
Yeah. Well, she's been wearing it for a while now, hasn't she?
Yes.
Okay. And did anybody cast Identify on it? I don't remember. You'd think that would be like the first thing they do.
No one really cared about the chainmail
Oh.
because it was so small.
Oh. Oh. Poor Lilith.
Yeah.
Well, it is +1 chainmail. So if you didn't already have +1 chainmail in your inventory, you may put that on there.
Okay.
It also has the special property that you only discover after you become attuned to it, which you now have, that in the presence of drow, if you wish, you can utter a command phrase, Luz, and the armor will light up like the light cantrip.
Cool.
It will illuminate an area 30 feet radius from you with bright light. It doesn't count as sunlight for the purposes of undead, for example. It doesn't do any radiant damage, but it's essentially going to shed enough bright light that anybody without dark vision can see in the dark. Up to 30 feet, which is not very far, unfortunately. Okay.
Yeah. Very cool.
Daria?
I was sitting and thinking to myself, did I did the right thing to let her go on herself by herself? She will be all right.
She'll be fine.
She'll be fine.
What could go wrong? It's Charlotte. She never gets into trouble. Yeah. And for 40 minutes you agonize over this. Anything else?
No.
That's quite a lot of agony, I have to say. All right. Very good. Laura.
Yes. Could I cast alarm for like that it rings in 50 minutes
Yeah.
in my head?
Oh,
'Cause I wanna...
just like an actual alarm, like a stopwatch.
No,
Sure.
no,
Sure.
the spell.
Yeah, no, I know, but I
Mm.
mean, you
Yeah,
just
like...
want it to go off after a specific time?
Yeah. So then I
there's
know that Charlotte is not invisible anymore.
Uh-huh. Okay.
Mhm.
Um,
And after that, I want to make a pro and con list.
so I think the alarm spell doesn't work like that though, does it? It's just an
Oh.
alarm against unwanted
Mhm.
intrusion. It's not like a timer.
I
I mean, the
know.
timer is the sense that it wears off after 8 hours.
Yeah, that's true. Then I don't. Sorry.
But
Then I will just make a pro and con list about whether what we did was the right decision.
Oh,
And
okay.
after that, I want to look at the pearl spinning around my head and groom my mustache.
What? Waxing your mustache.
Yeah.
Okay. All right. Did I miss anybody? I missed somebody, didn't I? Daria, Laura, Henrietta, Yvonne. Yeah. You did. I guess I got everybody. Okay. Well, back to Sophie, who is now leading a raucous round of singing, having quietly peed into a very large flagon without anybody noticing
No,
underneath her petticoat.
Charlotte wouldn't do such a thing.
But maybe Lady Elaine would.
Ew.
You do know that's how they actually went to the water closet, right?
I don't want to think about it.
That's literally what they did.
I'm just going to pretend that they have toilets and running water.
In the middle of a field?
Yes. Or like
And
magic.
water.
I don't know.
That's true. There is potentially magic.
I can just press the digitation in my bladder away.
Well, no, you could get rid of the stains, but you'd first have to stain yourself to get rid of it. So you'd have to
Oh.
pee on yourself, and then you just go whisk it away.
Oh. Well, anyway, I will.
Or better yet, pee on somebody else and then whisk it
shut
away.
up. Something's
waiting
really
for it.
wrong with you.
Oh, that's great.
I'm going to discreetly, very discreetly, flag down a page boy,
Uh-huh.
and I'll say, "Hey, could you get a message to my crew for me?
Yes, of course, my lady.
Could you please tell them that the surprise for Lady Alyssa went wrong, and to come if they want to."
He looks at you quizzically, but everybody started singing. I thought it was a very good rendition of "She's a Jolly Good Fellow."
Oh, thank you. That's sweet. But I wasn't meant to get gravy on myself. That wasn't part of the surprise.
Oh yes, of course. I'm so sorry. Yes, I'll run over to that magical house that you've created, and I'll let them know.
Thank you. And I'll tip
And-
him a copper piece.
Oh no,
So
no,
generous.
I couldn't. And then he looks at it and goes, "Really, I don't need it. Thank you."
Oh, okay.
Copper piece. Like after the bellboy helps you check in, carries 15 bags, and you give them like a 50 pence coin.
Well, you can almost buy like a can of Coke with that.
What's a can of Coke?
You can almost buy like a mushroom coffee with that.
You cannot buy a can of Coke with 50p.
I said almost.
You must live in a very inexpensive part of town. I was always used to Coke being over £1. Very good. Okay. A few minutes later, there's a knock at the tiny hut. Excuse me. Pardon.
What?
Is anybody in there?
I opened the door. What?
There's no door. You just sort of peek your head out the
Oh, yeah,
opaque
peek around.
barrier. Oh, sorry, ma'am, sir. Anyway, your friend, Lady Charlotte, I think it is. She said something about the surprise being spoiled, and I can't remember what she said. Something about joining the feast, I think it was.
Okay, thank you.
Pleasure.
Go away.
Oh, yes. Oh, all right. Okay. And he scurries off, a little bit upset and scared. She's mean.
I'm gonna turn to everybody and say, she didn't make it. Let's go.
She died?
She died? Oh no!
No.
You sounded so happy.
What do you mean she didn't make it? She's gone.
No.
Let's just
She
pack up
didn't
and go.
deliver a surprise like she should. Or something like that. Let's go.
Okay.
So we are leaving the camp.
You just,
If you want,
5 of you just walk
shouldn't
out.
we get her first?
Yeah.
5 of you walk out. Frodo's still there, surrounded by a bunch of orcs.
Okay, let's go.
All right.
My
So
God,
you
Lady
all
Charlotte.
arrive. Sorry, Daria, go ahead.
Lady Charlotte, oh my God. Don't let her hear that.
Too late. I think Sophie's going to be changing her character just to Lady Charlotte pretty soon.
Well, I almost did.
In air quotes.
I almost did last session.
Rolling dice as Lady Charlotte. Right, so you arrive, the feast is going on, everybody's in cheering mode. Somehow Charlotte's rendition of She's a Jolly Good Fellow has put everybody in slightly better spirits. They were in decent spirits before, but now it's genuinely feeling a bit more festive. There's a lot more clanking of metal mugs. There's more backslapping, lots of louder laughter. It may also be that it's just gotten to that point in the feast where enough of the alcohol has disseminated throughout the population that people are feeling a bit more less reserved, or a bit less reserved and a bit more free with their emotions. There are some who are brooding off in the corner. Who knows whether it's just because they missed their loved ones or they're unhappy with some circumstance that they're currently in. But for the most part, people seem to be in a good mood. And although the food isn't particularly abundant or exceptional, the mood is good and it does smell very nice if you're into that kind of feasting mode. So Charlotte has had a seat at the table, the large table. She's not next to the queen, but she's near. And there are a couple of other officers she's never met flanking her on either side. One is a young woman who has a very stern visage. She looks like she's got almost zero body fat. You can see the outline of her jaw very clearly, her neck. He's got close cropped hair, obviously very practical in the event of actually being in battle, or at least, for field dressing. And the other one's a slightly portly older man who has a white beard and mustache and a shaved pate. The rest of you rock up. The queen sees you and says, "Ah, you've all arrived. Good. Feel free to take a seat at the table. You're welcome to join us at the high table if you wish, but if you would like to sit with the soldiers, of course you may do so. There's plenty of food still, I think, and we do have some wine. And of course, we've got some sweets coming a bit later. They're not fancy, mind you, mostly just fruit, but at least they're fresh, which, frankly, after all the black mold issues of the last couple of years, it's been hard to find fresh fruit. So that in and of itself is a bit of a luxury, frankly.
Oh, Cracker just finds an open chair, sits down, starts eating.
Yeah. As soon as Cracker sits down, so where does Cracker sit? At
It's
the high table or the common soldiers' tables?
common soldiers' tables.
As soon as she sits down, all the other soldiers kind of make room, and then you watch as they all scooch together and they get kind of cramped on one side or other side or in front of her. And there's like a little almost invisible bubble of space around her because everybody keeps looking at her since she's such a huge half orc and they've just finished fighting a bunch of orcs. Plus, she's physically intimidating.
Who wants to arm wrestle for that flagon of wine?
One guy looks at another one looks at another, and then they all look at you and they kind of vigorously shake their heads back and forth. No.
You're no fun.
There's no point. You're going to win. Look at you. You're bigger than all the men in the camp, except for Big John over there.
Big John, come join me. These guys are too scared of me.
And a very large man, slightly overweight, with thinning hair, thinning dark brown hair, comes and sits down. He stands about 6'6", so he's roughly the same height as Cracker. But he looks like he weighs twice as much as Cracker. And although he does have muscles, he also has a layer of protective fat, you might call it. And when he sits down, you can feel the table. He sits down opposite you, and you can feel the table literally just sink with the weight of his arm and his elbow.
Excellent. You're not afraid of me.
Well, I'm not afraid of anything, really, but I respect that you obviously can kill orcs, and I can appreciate that somebody who knows their way around an axe is somebody I'm happy to have a drink with.
Well, let's get to it. Tell me about your life.
Well, I was always big. I was born big, I grew up big, and I'm big now. First time I realized how big I was when I punched a horse, knocked it out. It was really a pony, but the story's been growing since I was a kid. How about you?
Sounds kind of the same. You know, knocking down trees, working in taverns, bashing heads together when things get too rough. Kind of the same story.
I like your axe. You want to gamble for your axe?
No way. This
Come
doesn't
on,
leave
I've
my
got a nice
side.
dagger here.
Nah, let's just drink.
All right.
And I pour him a big glass of whatever.
Yeah, he actually has his own horn that he dangles from his waist on a belt, and he puts it in front of you. And it's almost a liter's worth of liquid capacity.
Fill
And
that up.
he chugs it down in one go and then wipes the back of his mouth. He wipes his mouth with the back of his arm.
More like it.
Oh, I think I'm getting sleepy. I've been drinking for an hour now. Say, what's it like out there? We've been here for a long time. I mean, in Neverwinter, fighting this war. Is the black mold gone?
No, it's getting way worse. It's
Hmm.
spreading and it's out of control.
Is it going south?
Oh, yeah.
No. I've got family down there.
Where are you from?
Well, it's closer to which
Okay.
you know roughly is somewhere roughly half the distance between where you are currently and Chult.
Okay. And you haven't been in touch with anybody down there?
No, common soldiers like us don't really get access to the mail. It's more for the uppity ups, and he sort of jerks his head at the big table. The only thing we know is what we hear from people we run into. Travelers, merchants, sometimes refugees and immigrants, occasionally a captured spy or enemy soldier. Guys in Neverwinter hear a lot more because they actually still have access to communications, but for the rest of us, we once caught a messenger with the Pony Express, but he was just delivering notes from the region, so he didn't know anything other than outside of this area.
Is everybody here mostly from not Neverwinter? Like away from Neverwinter?
I think a lot of the leadership are from Neverwinter, but no, a lot of the soldiers they hired on as mercenaries originally. A few of them were even conscripted. Most of the nobles brought their own retinues, so they were either personal bodyguards, people that worked on their estates, a few Neverwinter militia or disgruntled soldiers, or some of the town militia. But Neverwinter as a city has always had its own military, and they pay well enough that there isn't really a need to come join a rebel force like ours. But hey, the queen always says once we take the throne, everybody's going to get a big stipend, and some of the officers will get knighted, and a few of the leadership are going to be made lords. I mean, I've already got my sights on a small boat, turn that into a little trading vessel, and head up and down the coast.
Cracker's
Make my
choking on her
fortune there.
wine. Cracker's choking on her wine. Bullshit. Mm. Not likely.
Well, at this point, what am I going to do? I can't go home empty-handed. I mean, we've been paid some wages, but I'm owed probably 6 months worth, and we spend enough that I'm not really saving anything now between that and the gambling. So it's either we go home as victors with pockets full of gold, or we go home in caskets.
Mm.
Who am I kidding? They probably wouldn't even spend the money on caskets. Anyway,
Well,
gonna go lie down. And he gets up and he saunters off, and you see him find a tree near some of the tents, and he just sort of leans his back against the tree, closes his eyes, folds his arms over his chest, and proceeds to snooze. Laura?
Mhm.
Mm-hmm.
Can I send a message to Charlotte to ask what about the plan?
Yeah.
What happened?
What about the plan? Go.
Okay. I reply back saying, did
What was that?
I'll reply back saying, I fucked it up. Should I still try and poison her?
Huh. If you see a good timing, yes, but it's gonna be much harder now. And I think I'm gonna just sit down at, I don't know, whatever chair is nearest to me and drown my anger in food.
Drown your anger in food? You're going to eat your
Yes.
feelings? Okay.
Yes.
How angry are we talking? Are we talking angry enough to eat animal protein angry, or
No.
just like spoon your yogurt vigorously and stab at the bottom of the pot?
Yes.
Well,
More yogurt. I need it.
why is this yogurt so runny? Okay, very good. Henrietta.
Well, I don't think we can do anything right now, to be honest. I think I'm just gonna go over to my companions one by one and just ask, should we just leave for Leyland and just let the queen be and just out her to the Waterdeep fellow? Just leave.
Sure, you can do that. I mean, there's so much going on that if you wanted to whisper quietly,
Yeah, I'm just gonna whisper. So
it's probably it's possible that you could have a conversation without giving too much away. Nobody's really going to pay much attention. People do pay attention to you guys because you're special, and some of you even look very unusual, but it's not like people are really eavesdropping in on your conversations that you know of.
I can also cast my cantrip multiple times. Message
Mhm.
cantrip.
Yeah, absolutely. Message is going to be a much more secure way of doing it.
And then I don't have to move. I can just stand in one place and point
Yeah.
to each one.
casually.
Yeah, just pointing.
I love you and you
And you.
and you.
Yeah.
Can we reply?
Yeah.
Yep.
Message allows you to reply. But you're not in a
Okay.
group chat, but it's fine. I mean, over the course of a dinner or, you guys can relay messages back and forth.
Okay, I'm gonna say, I hope you overheard Valdi in the hut that this is not the first time these guys have been trying to take over, and that Never Ember was driven out of Waterdeep, which means probably by the dude Charlotte's engaged to. So we're not gonna be able to get them together. I say we just like hamstring her. I'd like to kill her, but I don't know if we'll be able to. But you can definitely turn this whole camp of anybody not from Neverwinter against her with enough money.
And if you fireball a lot of them, there are only few, there are far fewer survivors that you have to pay off. I mean, if ever there was a time to fireball people, a big crowded feast would be it. I'm waiting for Daria to suddenly just go, I can say I cast fireball.
No,
Into the
that's
group.
Byleth.
Anybody else have any thoughts to respond to Mia Lee's query? You're all part of the message chat.
Group chat.
I'm gonna be like, we should probably kill her and then go.
But how?
This is the second session where we haven't killed anybody.
Yeah. I'm also gonna say that I think killing her would be smart, but I don't know if now's the right time. Fireball.
Everyone seemed drunk.
Maybe now is the right time.
Are the Neverwinter guards the only ones that like gather around her when she's threatened, or is it because then they'd all be in one place?
What do you mean by the Neverwinter guards?
Well, this guy said that most of them are from far away, contracted mercenaries, indentured mercenaries, whatever, and they just want money and they want to go home. But these guys, they said there's only a few of the soldiers are actually from Neverwinter.
Yeah, well, technically what he
So-
said was most of the leadership are from Neverwinter.
Right. So basically, no one's truly loyal to her, except for maybe a few, like brother, whatever his name is.
So her personal guard, you don't know the stories of them unless you start to speak to them and ask them. But you know, her personal guard is a little bit different, right? They could be from Neverwinter, they could be from anywhere. You don't know why they may be personal. They may only be loyal in appearance, but they have fought you guys, and some of them died in the process, and they didn't break ranks. But you don't know what the basis of their loyalty is. Maybe none of them are from Neverwinter, right? You don't necessarily know the story.
Really paid off.
As an half orc who spent a lot of time in taverns and probably spent a lot of time around soldiers, you'll know that people fight for money, but they don't die for money. I mean, they may die, on the way to trying to gain riches, but soldiers are usually pretty good about most soldiers, or at least sergeants, right, are pretty good about balancing risk versus reward. They won't go to certain death for the promises of gold. If they're signing on for money, they're expecting to actually get paid, which means you have to first survive. But they also did say that some of the soldiers were, it's like a typical medieval society, right? You've got serfs and peasants who owe a duty to their lords, to the landholder, right? And that can be paid in a number of ways, including percentage of share of crop as well as military service. Daria.
I also gonna say to Mieli, I think we should end her. And then I'm gonna sit next to Cracker and give her a cup so she can feel it.
A cup or a cat? Oh, a cup to fill it.
Cup.
I see. Sorry.
Yeah.
Yep.
A cat, so I can fill it. Yep. So I fill up your cup. Let's get drinking.
Yeah.
The cat gets extremely bloated after a while. It
Um,
starts mewling incessantly. No more, meow, no more.
Purring.
Yeah, you guys are hanging out, drinking buddies. Okay. I think have we heard from everybody? Sophie, did you have a final word on it?
Well, just what I said to
Okay.
Byleth. Yeah.
All right. So let me just before we sign off, because it is 12 and I know some of you guys have exams and papers and things and etc. Is there a plan? You had a plan, you tried, it didn't quite go to plan, but it wasn't necessarily a bad plan. I'm not saying I support it. I'm just saying if this is the way you want to go, that wasn't a bad plan. It just was a little bit unlucky and a couple other things.
Well, it seems like we are killing her. Now we just need to figure out if we are going to do it stealthily or just straight up kill her and leave.
Mm-hmm. I think that's a succinct way of putting it. If you guys are definitely killing her, then your choices are try to do it stealthily, in which case you just need to decide when and where. And if it's rather more in the open, also decide when and where. Like on the count of 3, everybody fireballs everybody else.
Or love potion her, get her in that tent, kill her there,
Love her up.
clean the place out.
Yeah.
Mm.
Make her fall in love with Blemish.
He can either
Yeah.
get rid of the evidence.
Oh.
Nice.
Oh,
Mhm.
wow. And if there's no body, there's no murder.
Right.
True.
And if he gets caught, we could just, he did it. And we can just leave.
And then just kill him in front of everybody.
Yeah.
And then carry his body with you and then just like let him grow back.
Yeah.
Like a slightly more vicious version of sacrificing Violet's familiar every time.
Just tell him to play dead. And we're off the hook. And we can drag him with us.
And then what would be the plan after you kill her, if you do kill her?
Leave.
Well, thank you, Henrietta. That was deeply insightful.
Yeah. Get back on track.
Start an artist colony here.
Yeah. Do what we are supposed to do. Go to Neverwinter and kill off the leadership of the Century.
What about the forces coming to Leylon?
You can send him a message telling him that the Queen is dead. The deal is off. Wasn't that the plan?
Yeah.
Sounds good.
Just hope that he don't get angry with us for killing the Queen and his chances.
Maybe don't tell him she's dead. She just betrayed him.
Yeah.
Okay. Sounds like that's are there any other opinions?
Hopefully he'll not turn against Neverember himself.
Hmm. Hopefully.
Maybe we should just kill him too.
Just kill everybody.
Uh-huh.
Yeah, that's always an option. You could just say Charlotte could just say she changed her mind about consummating the engagement.
Mhm.
My dear Lord Kazandar, you inflame my passions. Let me demonstrate how. Fireball!
Just needs to level up first.
Yeah, but you know, Zanice could just cast Disguise Self or something, or
Yeah.
or
Oh my
Byleth
God.
could, and then she could do it.
Or they could
And
just
with
consummate the marriage for me.
okay, I think that's the end of the session. So thank you very much,
Fireball on
everybody.
Charlotte.
Yeah, fireball Charlotte in the butt. All right, everybody. I think is that just Who Wants to Be a Millionaire moment? Is that your final answer? Just want to make sure I know what I'm making. I've got a bunch of different paths prepared, but I just want to make sure if this is the path. I do have a little bit of work I need to do. It's fine. I just want to make sure. You can change your mind still, but I just want to make sure that this is where you guys are at the moment.
Guess so.
I want to hear it from everybody.
Yes.
Yes.
Yvonne.
Oh, yeah, I did say yeah.
Okay.
Yep.
Okay. Excellent. All right. Well, thank you very much, everyone. Have a lovely week, and I shall see you on Sunday.
Thank you.
Thank you.
And we'll with any luck, we'll end up, I don't know, fireballing
Queenless.
somebody,
Yeah.
queenless,
Actually killing our target for once.
consummating an engagement.
Oh dear.
Can't wait.
Yeah. Can't wait. Well, that's what he would say. All right. Cool. See you guys next week, everyone.
All right.
Bye.
Thank you.
Thanks.
Bye.
Take care.
Take care.
Bye.
Bye.